What that music?
Coming. Hey, hey.
It's What's the Word Wednesday, everybody. What's happening? Coming live out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Speak for yourself. Hey, hey.
Pittsburgh Steelers style. Eric, what's that behind you, New York? Woo-wee. Hey, make sure you tag everybody because tonight we dropping nuggets.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
This
hey.
episode of What's the Word Wednesday, where we do our very best to try to motivate you, inspire you, encourage you, lift you up, and give you some practical everyday nuggets that you can use for your business at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're doing. My name is Eric Clifton, one of your directors here with this amazing company. And we have none other than, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Roger the Dodger Lillard, the one and only.
My man with the plan, Mr. Roger, the Dodger Lillard himself. Look, I'm doing 5,000 things. Who we got looking at us right now, Mr. Lillard? Go ahead and give some shout outs.
Okay, we got Dovera. How you doing? Welcome, Mr. Preston Scott's online. Danielle Winston. We got Francesca.
Fonseca.
Fonseca Tiffany. How you doing? Welcome to What's the Word Wednesday.
Who else
He
we
said,
got?
what are you dog? What are you dogging, sir? Dodging? Oh, the Dodger. Let's call me the Dodger, man. That's the nickname. Just something to rhyme. We don't try to waste no time.
Look, I think you just intentionally tried to rhyme just there, sir.
Hey, man. As long as we gotta make it up. We gotta make things be on time. Welcome, y'all. Welcome.
Welcome to another episode again. It's What's the Word Wednesday. We about to jump right on in. Tonight we're going to be talking about prospecting, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, what we do on this show is try to give you, as we said, some motivational tips and nuggets and things of that nature in the area of your network marketing business. And because this is what we consider builder season right now, what we're going to be doing is sharing with you the various ways and how you build and nurture that ground and this foundation of this industry. And you do that through the art of prospecting. Some people call it farming, but you do this through that art. And we're going to give you a few different techniques, a few different ways that we break the ice with people when we initiate these conversations. And we give you a few different categories of people that we prospect to, like who should you be talking to, right? Not everybody should be your prospect. So we're going to go into some of these things. We're going to give you guys a chance to get some of your questions asked and or answered we're definitely going to answer your questions. We want you to ask some questions, put it in the chat, ask your questions, so on and so forth, and we're going to be moving forward. Mr. Lillard, go ahead. I saw something on your head. I'm sorry.
Yeah, before we jump into that, let's do some quick announcements. Before we jump real quick, I'll be quick with those. First announcements. Hey team, make sure that every brand new person that gets started with us, make sure they're chimed into, added to the Platinum Network, because again, we get all the training, mentoring, coaching from Platinum Network. Of course, Mr. Preston and Amani Scott are our 4-star leaders every single Sunday evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Right here in Platinum Network. There's a game plan called, of course, when you start your business, you want to come up with a game plan. But guess what? That's the event that you don't want to miss. Also, you don't want to miss What's the Word Wednesday, every first and third Wednesday, 8 o'clock, of course, right here with us. And then, of course, you don't want to miss this coming weekend. We have a super event, Super Saturday, right here in the DMV at the Hotel Preserve and Arundel Mills. And so if you don't have your tickets, there's still tickets available. Get with your sponsor or get with one of us after this training, and then we'll get you there. But if you're in the DMV and you're watching this right now, you do not want to miss that event on Saturday. Matthew, Eric, any more announcements you got?
Got no more announcements. Let's just jump on. As a matter of fact, before we jump in, because we always jump in and want to go the direction that we want to go. In the chat, ladies and gentlemen, somebody who has a question on prospecting, whether you're brand new, whether you've been around for quite some time. Some of you guys have been with us since the beginning of our journey within this industry in the travel space. So if there are any questions before we just do what we do, which is running our miles and things of that nature, if there are any questions, put it in the chat so me and Mr. Lillard can take a look at it and address that question as it pertains to prospecting, introducing yourself to people, inviting, and things of that nature, so that you can start building on your business. Any questions? Do you see any questions in the chat, Mr.
Lillard? No, right now I'm ready for the Nuggets to be dropped tonight. So people waiting on the Nuggets, man.
We want to question though. Who just said they're ready for the Nuggets to be dropped?
This is Dolevia. Am I pronouncing it right? Dolevia?
I think you tore that.
I'm chopping it up. I'm sorry, but I think the last name is Dorillis.
Huh?
That's her last name.
No, we're just gonna let you. We're gonna give you a pass on that one.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna give you
just let you know you don't have to be the sharpest knife in the drawer to do this business.
You murdered her name. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, prospecting.
Charge it to my heart, not my head.
Prospecting is the act of communicating with a person, right? You want to make sure that if you're not talking to a person about your business, and trying to move them through what we would call the sales process, then you're not prospecting. Just because you met somebody and they gave you your phone number, that's not prospecting, right? That you just maybe piqued their interest and you got a number, right? Prospecting is the act of the communication where you're taking them through the process, right? In order to meet someone, one of the things that is important, people have to try to figure out, well, how do I start these conversations, right? How do I start a conversation with someone to even get their interest piqued, and then move into the part of prospecting where I'm going through maybe the form process. I'm getting to know them. They're getting to know me. We're asking those questions to try to figure out how we can best describe or fit this business into their lifestyle. That's the prospecting part of it. But before you can even get to that, you have to have had the opportunity to introduce yourself, especially to someone you don't know. So Mr. Lillard, go ahead and give someone one of your amazing icebreakers or conversation starters to get a conversation started. Most people are tired of talking to their family and friends, right? And a lot of people don't even want to use their family and friends as potential prospects, even though it's a good place to start. So forget family and friends, Mr. Lillard. How do you address the new person that you don't know, that you just met? How do you start that or break the ice?
Well, first and foremost, everybody, you have to have a philosophy of, a mindset of not being afraid to talk to somebody before you learn everything. Because we got a lot of people, they don't want to talk to anybody till they know everything. That's what the PS3 is for. We may touch on that a little bit tonight. So you have to have courage. You can't be afraid to talk to people. It's interesting. We'll talk to people at a grocery store, gas station, at the shopping mall, at the flea market, and we'll hold a conversation real easily. But when we start the prospect, we get fearful because we think we got to know everything. So we have to change our mindset and philosophies on talking to people. But I mean, if you're at a grocery store, right, and you're in the produce aisle, and you might all start talking about just you can start a conversation talking about the produce. Man, ain't no good tomatoes over here today. It's gracious. And next thing now you're holding a conversation. Or you might be in the meat aisle. Man, they always running out of turkey. You can just start a conversation. Oh, these prices are getting really high, ain't they? Right? So you have to use, not learn this from a millionaire. You have to, before you talk to someone, they have to have there's a vibe that you feel. And so when you see a dog, if the tail is wagging, you pet it. If that tail ain't wagging, you don't pet it. So if you speak to someone and they don't speak back, that's not the one we're looking for. But icebreakers, if they have on this is what I do. I wear my Steelers jacket purposely when I go out because I know somebody's going to say something about the Steelers. So if you're a fan or ladies, if you have a certain jacket that you wear and someone compliments you, they think that you're sharp. Guys, again, wear your sports jacket. There's so many ways to get icebreakers to talk to somebody at the gas station. Man, this guy is short as hell, isn't it?
So here's the question that someone's thinking. What's the transition, right? Because if I see you with that Steelers jacket on, I'm be like, hey, dude, something on your back. It looked like you just broke out of jail. I'm gonna say something about your jacket. You might laugh, or depending on how diehard of a fan you are, you might have a response. Ha ha, he, say something about my team. But now, how do you transition to what we talking about? Because how is me talking about your jacket going to lead to you getting my phone number to now call me about this opportunity?
Right. So remember, that's the icebreaker. Because once you get them talking, that's the icebreaker. Now, once you get them talking about the jacket. So, for instance, if it's talking about the Steelers and you say something about the Steelers, I might ask, who's your team? I just want to start a conversation with them. Because once we start the conversation, it becomes simple. So now, listen to this, y'all. You never talk about your business on the front end. You talk about your business on the back end of the conversation because you want to be in a hurry. Because you might be at a shopping mall and the person, you might talk about your business at the top of the conversation. Now they got questions for you. And guess what? If you're brand new, you can't answer. Right? So you want to be quick. So I would say, hey, Mr. Clifton, listen. I would say, Clifton, listen. Well, I would say Eric, because I would ask your name, of course. Right? Listen, man. I know you're in a hurry. So I don't want to hold you up. By the way, right? Hey, do you keep your options open to make some additional income? That's one. Or you can say, listen, I own my own business, right? I'm looking for some people to help me expand my business here in the metropolitan area or wherever you live at. Or two or three. By the way, do you leisure travel? So you all should be writing those three transitions down. Back to you, sir.
Hey, I like that. But now I will say this. Sometimes I'm gonna give you guys one of mine. I'll lead kind of sort of with the business a little bit, Mr. Lillard. Give you an example. I do this a lot. I do this a lot when I'm in depending on the environment. I'll say grocery store, gas station, and depending on how that person, no, don't even depend on how the person looks, depending on my mood, right? I'm an introvert. But I will look at them and say, you look like you need a vacation. Especially if it's the person ringing up my bags, or if it's a person standing, you look like you need. They got kids. I'm scrolling by, man. You look like you need a vacation. Now, that's my icebreaker. depending on their response, if they look over me like, screw you, I don't need no vacation. But usually what happens is I get, you know what, you're right. Or they'll laugh or something like that. And now I get the opportunity to talk about travel. So look, I need a vacation too. I know that look, right? Now my next step is, so look, if you could go somewhere next month, you know, this Rona was gone, where would you go? I think I go to Dubai. Right now, I done just started a conversation with a stranger to now get their phone number, get their information, right? That's my go-to joint, man. You look like you need a vacation, right? I'm trying not to sound too old school network marketing with you keep your options open about that one still works. But that person at that moment, once you hear that spill, if it's a person that's done network marketing before, they instantly gonna know, oh, you got one of them things going. You didn't hit me with the old school script. Or I keep my options open about making some additional income, right? And then you're gonna ask me, well, how much money would I need to make for this opportunity to be worth 15 minutes of my time to take a look at? So if I've been in this industry long, or if someone has been in the industry before, they've heard that lingo. So I'm just coming straight from, hey, listen, look like you need to travel.
Oh, I wrote both of those down, by the way. I'm taking those too. I like both of those. And so that's what we all on here learning.
You want to, you know, naturally start that conversation, right? Another one that me and you, Mr. Little, we love prospecting or meeting new people at the gas station, right? Because the gas station, everyone's in a rush. Especially if it's cold, we ain't got time to be out here in no pumping no gas. You come out, you start the icebreakers. The best way to start an icebreaker is with a compliment, right? I'm always looking for, I don't care if it's a dude or a female, I'm looking for a way to compliment them. I like shoes. I'm always looking at shoes first, right? If I see a lady with some nice shoes on, boom, them shoes is nice. Listen, where you get them shoes from so I can buy my wife and my kids them shoes right there. Them shoes is hot, right? That's now I have complimented them. Their guard is down. Now we can talk about the shoe. Or I usually compliment the car a lot, right? So if I'm complimenting the car, man, it must cost $1 million to put gas in this car. So now we're talking about finances really quickly. I want to show you a way that you can fill this gas tank up without, you know, the income coming from your job, or however you want to transition afterwards. But a compliment is the best way to do that.
I do know this for ladies, the gas station piece, even out in at the shopping plaza, you know, it's a little different for ladies because they approach a guy. Guys can feel a little different about the approach. Why is the lady approaching me? But I would say this, ladies are the very best networkers in this industry, period. And that's with any company globally. Women are the best networkers, right? So, ladies, if you're going to approach a gentleman, right, you might say, hey, listen, how you doing, sir? You seem like a sharp gentleman, and I'm looking for some sharp gentlemen like yourself to help me expand my business. I want to give you my business card, right? I want to give you my business card so so that we can network together possibly. Do you have a business card? Now, if they don't have a business, all you're trying to do is get we're data collectors. We're just trying to get a phone number, right? So once you get a business card, if they don't have one, the next question is, what's the best number to contact you at so I could provide you with more information? When you ask that question, you pull your phone out and you wait. Don't say anything. And you look at your phone and wait for them to give you that phone number. The first person that speaks loses, right? So what's the best number to contact you? I got your phone out so I could provide you with more information. You seem like a sharp guy, right? And I'm looking for some sharp gentlemen like yourself to help me expand my business. Here's my business card. I know you're in a hurry. And so then he might, if you don't have any business cards, he may ask you, what is your business? And you tell him, I own my own travel agency, right? Really? Yes. So when you answer his question, when you say yes, okay, what's the best number? I'm going right back for the phone number again because you're in a hurry and I don't want to do no explaining. Now, if he don't want to give you the phone number, okay, guess what? Do you happen to have an email address? So you can go for the phone number, email address, But the key is to get some information from that gentleman so you can provide him with more information. Back to you.
I see someone said, what is the best is that best way to transition using the peak interest cards? What's the put in the chat? What do you mean? What's the peak interest card that you're talking about? I'll give you another way that I'll transition in that process. If I'm meeting a perfect stranger out in the street somewhere, uh, after I'll start off with the travel piece, right? I'm going to ask you, I'll say you look like you need a vacation, right? And they usually 99% of the time, I usually always get a favorable response after I tell somebody you look like you need a vacation, right? Then the next question I'm going to ask them is, do you travel often? Or how? And during this time frame right now, people are like, you're getting 50-50 type answers. I don't really care what the answer is, right? As long as they're not saying, listen, I'm allergic to travel. I'm never, ever traveling again. I'm staying home. This is it. I've never gotten that response. I've usually always got a response, well, I haven't really been anywhere in a few, however many months, or I'm looking forward to whenever they're planning to go somewhere. So my response is always, well, great. Even if they say, man, I ain't been nowhere in 3 years. I don't know when I'm going somewhere. I know I'm going to go somewhere, but I ain't been nowhere. Well, great. I don't care what the response is. Great. Because I'm going to show you a way where you can travel more while probably saving less and possibly make some money. Wouldn't that be interesting? I usually get a yes, but that'd be interesting, right? So I'm always going to listen. You look like you like to travel. How often do you travel? I don't care what the answer is. Great. I'm going to show you a way where you can travel more. Save on your travel, possibly even make some money. Wouldn't that be interesting? And I always say, I'm going to show you, right? Absolutely. And then I say, what's the best contact number for me to send you some information? I got to go, right? Whether I'm packing my bags or whatever, I got to go. What's the best number I can send you something on, right? You got a card? They're going to ask me. They always ask, you got a card? You got a card? I don't care if I got a stack of cards in my pocket. Forgive me, y'all. I'm a lie. Ain't got no cards. I don't want you to have my number. I don't want you to have my number because if I give you my number on my card, there's a 50% chance you're not going to call. If I got your number, there's a 100% chance I'm going to call. So I ain't got no cards, right? I'm going to pull out my phone. And then I'm going to say, you know this one, Raj? What's the best contact number for me to send you something? Even if it's an email, I don't care. What's the best contact for me to send you something? I'm putting my phone out. And what I'm doing now, Raj?
You waiting.
I'm waiting. I ain't saying nothing until they start talking and giving me this number. The first person that says something, how the saying go, Raj?
Yeah, the first person that speaks loses.
The first person that speaks loses. So boom, I'm putting the phone out. What's the best contact number or contact information for me to send you something that you can look at real quick? Boom. Now I have the phone number, or now I have the email, and then now I'm going to send you some information. And guys, you ought to have tons of content to send this person. Now I'm going to send them some information. Now I'm going to schedule a time to get back. Man, what time next week you good? I'm not going to press you out. What time can we wrap next week?
And I love that. I love that because now that you've got the phone number, right? And when you send the information, this is all part of prospecting. Like Eric said, I need to know what's the best time to contact you, right? And what's the best day and time to contact you, right? So I can add that to my calendar. So I say that to every prospect. What's the best day and time to contact you so I can add it to my calendar? Now, watch this. What's important about that is now you're letting the person know, the prospect know that you're serious about your business. And not to mention, watch this. The first time you speak to a prospect about your business is when the training starts. Because the way that you prospect them, right? The way that you take them through the process from going from hello to welcome to the team is exactly how they'll do theirs. And so this is why it's so vital. It's essential to know that PS3, right? And not also now, and we didn't have this 4 years ago. Now we have a weekly webinar that you can invite them to. So it's, I don't want to say it's easier, but our system has evolved to be able to prospect, y'all. Like, no one watching this tonight should have any fear of contacting someone with all the information that we have. Also, we got to make money and travel. It's so, it's, the system is so simplistic. If you work it, the system will work for you. Don't you try to work the system, let the system work for you.
So let's explain what Raj is talking about. Our job in this initial process of meeting someone that we don't know, because I don't want to talk to family and friends. Remember, this is someone I just met. The job is for me not to throw up all of the information that I think I know about this opportunity. Yeah, well, you know, we get paid 70 to 80%, blah, blah, blah. You can take flights. You get access to VAX. There's a 3x9 by 10 by 15 matrix. You can run the Olympics and become a gold builder. So now the person, they hear the Charlie Brown crap, Roger, like you were saying. And what they're thinking is, unless they are really interested in what you said, most cases is too much. What they're thinking is, okay, this is the business they're talking about. And if I join them, do I gotta do that? Do I gotta know all that crap that person just said? Because you said a lot, right? I gotta do what you did. So that's why it's PS. You pique their interest, and then you share some information via all of those tools and support that Mr. Lillard just named. So if you're not piquing their interest with something really short and then moving forward, let me address Dad's question about, he was talking about the call to action cards and get paid to book travel. How do you transition in that scenario? That was your question earlier. The great part about that, you have already piqued their interest.
Exactly.
Your advertisement, your marketing, this is what I love about marketing. Your marketing piqued their interest. So the transition becomes easy, right? Just like when there was some marketing done on TV for the triple decker such and such sandwich, and it was all pretty, right? And you was like, man, that junk look good. You know, for you guys to eat those triple decker heart attack junks, right? It looked good. They did the right marketing, and then you went and found the spot. You went to them. The transition was simple for them. All they had to do was open the door, greet you nicely, and give you what you were looking for. So if my marketing says, get paid to book travel, ask me how, the person is contacting me, we're already in the transition mode. They pretty much asking me how, right? If I have a call to action card, I got some.
While you're looking for that, watch this. 4 days ago,
call to action cards, right? Same thing. What I'm gonna do with the call to action card, I'm gonna take the card, if I'm using cards, and I'm just giving it to the person. Here you go. And then after this card don't have nothing on it. After I give them the card, if it has piqued their interest, then they will do what's necessary, right? Hey, where you going, man? Let me ask you something about, you know, how this works. Or they'll call me or follow the instructions, right? It's those calls are called call to action, right? So they read something that didn't just say, I'm glad you brought it up. It didn't just say, I'm a travel agent. Because if it just says I'm a travel agent, there's no call to action. All right, he's a travel agent. Here's his name. Here's his website. Here's his phone number. Let me put this in my pocket until I think I need a travel agent. The call to action has something specific for me to do after the headline has piqued my interest. Get paid to book travel. That was interesting. The call to action is ask me how. And I ain't telling you, I'm putting my phone number there. You need to make a move right now, right? So that the transition becomes smooth because this person is calling you. Now you just have to follow the rest of the process like a professional. So when they call me, I need to find out now, when do you have 15 to 20 minutes to view some information? whether it be live in person, doesn't matter. When you got that time, free time, then they'll give me a time. And then now I'm setting my professional appointment with them. And guess what? This process, it don't matter if you started yesterday. If you can follow a system, this is the system. You've already piqued their interest with your call to action card, your marketing, your post on social media. They've reached out to you, set an appointment. Don't spit up all the information on them.
And I wanna piggyback on what you just said. Since we're talking about it, let's jump right into the PS3 real quick, and I'm gonna be real quick with this. So you pique the interest. The S is show the plan, show the video. Once you share the video, you want to ask the prospect, when's a good day and good time that I can contact you back, right? About the video so I can add it to my calendar. See, listen, some of you all aren't making any money because your calendar's empty.
Go, say that again.
Some of you aren't making any money right now because your calendar is empty. Woo. So if your calendar right now doesn't have any follow-ups in the calendar, that's probably why you're not signing anybody up, right? So once you send the video, right, now you're calling them back. Listen to me. Write this down. The less you say, the more money you make in this business, in this industry. So when you contact them back on the day, January 23rd, is my birthday, by the way. Hint, hint. So January 20th, you contact them back on the Sunday. So my question, the first, hello, Eric, how you doing, my brother? Man, did you have an opportunity to watch the video? Say yes. Yes, you've seen the video. Fantastic. I say fantastic and wonderful to everything. I'm going to say it again. If they say no, fantastic, wonderful, I say that to everything. So you watch the video. Eric, what did you like most about the video? If you're not asking that question on a regular basis, then you're not taking people through the process. If Eric says, I love the money, right? And he breaks down, I see that I can add additional income to my bottom line of my household. I'm going to mirror match Eric. Hey, Eric, guess what? When I saw this opportunity, I saw that I can make some extra money as well without having to get a second job, right? Watch this. Then I'm going to say, do you see an opportunity for yourself? If he says yes, I'm signing him up. If he says 90% of the time, they're going to say, I have questions. If they have questions, then you transfer into the three-way call. Now, before you do the follow-up, y'all, you must contact an expert prior to that, maybe the day before, at least a minimum of an hour or two prior to doing a three-way call. This way, they're not in the bathroom on the toilet, they're not in the grocery line, or they're not, whatever the case may be, right? But you want to let them know in advance so that they're ready. So if Eric says, well, Roger, I got a few questions before because I'm interested, but I got a few questions. Okay, Eric, listen, I'm just getting started. Or if you've been around for a while, Eric, I want to make sure that your questions are answered properly, right? So my business partner, Mr. Scott, right? He's coaching me. He's mentoring me. He's training me up. I want to make sure that your questions are answered properly. If I can get 2 minutes of his time, right? You're not saying right, but I'm just saying right. But if I can get 2 minutes of his time, I can have him answer all your questions. Hold on 1 second. Click. And I'm calling Preston, and I'm bringing him back in, and then we're going to get this three-way call done. Listen to me, y'all. What I just shared with you all, the PS3, if everyone watching me tonight would actively do this on a daily basis, we will explode this business. This business is simple. However, it's not easy, but we make it harder by not getting ourselves out the way. You got to get yourself out the way and get the experts on the phone with your prospects. Back to you, Eric. I can keep going, but I can go.
I love it. It's important to note that when Mr. Lillard said click, he wasn't hanging up on the prospect. He was, he was clicking over. You old school. I don't even know if it's a click button no more. But he was he was transitioning. But here's what's important with that transition to the three-way call. It is important that once you've called the expert, that you still have the prospect on the other line, right? Because if you call the expert and he know your number because he got it saved and he answered the phone, hey, what's good? Roger. I don't know that he's got he got President Tutu on the line, right? And I'm calling him, hey, what's happening, Roger? I got the music playing, the kids running around, my wife throwing food at me. I mean, who knows what's going on? It's chaotic because I don't even know that the prospect is on the phone, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you have respectfully done that. Mr. Lillard, real quick, let's transition to the types of people that people should be talking to.
Nadine mentioned something. She said, "Get yourself out of the way," right? And that's so vital, like because we think we got to know everything before we start earning income in this business, and all we got to do is, like again, work the system, more of the system and less of you. All right, back to you, sir.
You're right. So since you brought that up, the two sides, and Preston trained on this maybe a couple of months ago. This network marketing side, or the Planet marketing side of this business, is about you following a system. It's not about how much you know. It's about, can you walk this straight line like we said so? Can you follow some simple instructions? That's why anybody can do it if they can follow a system. The travel side of this business requires you to learn some stuff, right? It's like I'm not calling. I got to go ear doctor appointment the other day. I don't want the doctor that's a doctor because he just paid himself to be bought a practice and he ain't had no training. He ain't got no certifications. He ain't got nothing. He just called himself a doctor because he bought the practice. That dude don't need to look in my ear. And some of you guys just spent your $200. You're a travel agent, and now next week you ain't took your courses. You ain't done no training and connected to nobody. But next week you gonna plan someone's major vacation. You gonna handle their life savings on this major trip they're trying to take. I'm trying to send a group of 50 to Dubai. You ain't even gone through your back office training courses yet, and then you'll call the person who sponsored you with 5,004 questions because you panicking because you got 1,700 clients, but you don't even know how to book a hotel yet. That part takes some time. So that's why we say you can earn while you learn in this business. How do you do that? You follow the daggone system that's getting butts in seats on the business side. And while you're doing that, you're earning and learning. You should be learning the business. So now what I was going to transition to, unless someone else says something else, the types of people that we should be approaching or talking to that you would like to have in your business. Think about that. This is your business. You have the right to choose and decide what types of people you want to do business with. Not everybody is a good potential client. All money ain't good money. Just because you got 200 don't mean you can work with me, right? That's posture. You should have that. And think about this. You guys know the dude that looked like he's up to no good just because, he dressed nice or she dressed nice don't mean she got the type of business ethics that this is a business, right? My cousin Ray, he not joining my business. I'll book all his trips. We'll book the trips. But I'm not going to go and give cousin Ray or anybody that looks like cousin Ray my daggone card. Not on purpose. Now, if you call from some means of marketing, I got no control over that. But I'm not intentionally wasting my time talking to people that are, what they call it, Roger, the low-hanging fruit. And is that being a bit judgmental? Yes, it is. It's my business. I got to make judgment calls, ladies and gentlemen, right? We do it all the time. If I'm at the gas station and the person pulls up in the Hyundai and then the person pulls up in the Benz S-Class 500 2021, who you going to waste your you got 5 minutes? Who you wasting your 5 minutes talking to? It's a judgment call. I'm not approaching the person in the Honda at that moment. That's just me. Now, it doesn't mean that, if I'm at a barbecue or something, I don't know what you drive, I might talk to you, but I'm being intentional. My point is you have to be intentional about the people you're choosing to spend time prospecting, right? The person that works that has a job just like you and their thinking hasn't elevated past where yours is at, that might not be the person you need to be talking to. You need to be talking to their supervisor. My cousin Ray, I ain't talking to him. Man, where your mama at? Let me talk to your mama real quick.
If I can piggyback, Eric.
What's prospect up? What's the terminology for that one?
Recruiting up.
Recruiting up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So now I like what Eric is saying. And so y'all know I'm real old school. So I agree with what he's saying. At the same time, here's what I do, right? And so I don't prejudge, but I do pay attention to, okay, if this gentleman, like he said, they pull up at the gas station and there's three guys in the car, and when they open the door, a whole smokestack come out the car, I'm not talking to them. All right.
That's
so, but I'm just saying, right? So I might not, so, so you don't want to prejudge, but at the same time, you do want to make sure that, like he said, you want to go after some sharp people as well. But if you're talking to enough people, right, that's the other key. In the book Go Pro, it says we should be meeting 2 new people every single day. We talk about prospecting tonight. If you're not meeting 2 new people every day, and people are saying, where do I meet them at? Some of us are asking that question, where do I meet them at? But you got 3,000 friends on Facebook and you ain't talked to none of them about what you do. You're not, matter of fact, you're a secret agent. You're not even posting on your page what you do. And so there's people all around us, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not a Twitter guy, but there's all kind of platforms when you can actually introduce yourself to people about what you do, right? So don't prejudge. And I like what you said earlier, because you said that's your nephew or your cousin?
Who? Cousin Ray Ray?
Cousin Ray Ray. Cousin Ray Ray, right? He knows Cousin Ray Ray. So we're in a relationship business. So you can meet somebody, matter of fact, you could be at someone's house, little Ray Ray in the basement, eating Fruit Loops, playing PlayStation, right? But little Ray Ray has an uncle that's looking for opportunity. And sometimes we don't talk to Ray Ray and we miss out on the uncle, and then his uncle goes sign up with somebody else. And so you got to pick and choose, like you said, be intentional. But at the end of the day, though, if you're frustrated right now with any one person, that means you're not talking to enough people. And when you're talking to enough people, this becomes fun because you got a plethora of people to follow up with. Back to you.
But now I like where we're going with that right now. Watch this. The process of talking to these people, and when I was saying about being intentional, we call this target marketing. We network marketers, so this is target marketing. For example, if I'm looking to, especially online, where are the people that I want in my business? Where are they at? Where do they hang out at? Right. So if I want to get a doctor or lawyer in my business, or if I want to meet a doctor or a lawyer or a realtor, I don't know one, but if I want to meet one, where do I go to find one? And even if it's a pandemic and you staying in the house, where do the doctors and lawyers and people that have money, where do they hang out at? If I was a single woman, and you guys have heard the stories, Roger, the ladies that if they want to date a ball player, where are they hanging out at? They not at Iverson Mall, right? Where
Capital One.
You're intentionally going to where the people. So if I'm looking for we call that farming as well, right? What neighborhood would you like to live in? So I'm gonna go intentionally to the neighborhoods that I would like to live in and try to meet some people in that neighborhood. And because of Rona, we're not doing all this meeting a bunch of people, but it's back to marketing. I still want to meet the people that live or go through this neighborhood. So now I'm gonna be in that neighborhood or that area providing my marketing. If I'm online and I need to meet the basketball player or the lady that's the single mama or the whatever it is that the person I'm looking for the groups that they hang out in, right? If I'm advertising in print media, I'm going to advertise in the books that those people with money read. Right? I'm being intentional. And guess what? With that intentional, if a Ray Ray calls, then I'm gonna take Ray Ray through the same process because he called me. I'm still not intentionally going. Matter of fact, watch this. Truth be told, 20 years ago, Raj, I might have been the Ray Ray of the family, of my family. I didn't intentionally get into this industry, right? I would have been the Ray Ray. I would have been the dude. Matter of fact, when I got in this industry, I was the dude you described, Roger. The door would have opened, the cloud of smoke, and me and my guy would have jumped out the truck. And that's what happened, kind of technically, when I met the person that introduced me to this opportunity. Matter of fact, they thought I was a Ray Ray, but I approached them, right? And then what they did was, man, I ain't got time for this Ray Ray, but he approached me. Let me show him some money and see what happened. And when they showed me the money, I was like, oh, my goodness, you done showed me something that. And so in that fashion, yeah, I'd love to meet 2-3 more Ray Rays like me, but I'm not going to walk up to them. I'm going to market. And if they call me, hey, we can do some things because you called me. We can do some things. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions? We having a good time talking about this. Recruit up. That means you need to call your grandfather. Call the principal that you know, right? Call them teachers. Call them. Mr. Lilly, you said this one time before. Anybody that you scared or intimidated to talk to about this business, that's the person you need to figure out how to show this business to. You ain't got to necessarily figure out how to start the conversation, but let's figure out how to reach those people that you scared to talk to.
And here's how you do it. I'm gonna share with them. I'm gonna share with them how to do it. These are people that you look up to, you respect as business owners. You might know someone that owns a salon, and she or guy owns a barber, and they making $250,000 a year, right? So if Eric was that person, right, and I go into his shop or I go into the salon and I see him on a regular basis, I'm gonna pull them to the side and say, "Hey, Eric, listen, man. Man, listen, I really respect you as a business owner. It's called massaging the ego. You want to massage your ego. Hey, Eric, listen, man, I've run across something that I'm truly excited about. And when I saw this, I thought about you. I know that you're busy, right? But I really respect your business sense. If you could you take a look at this video, right? And I'm excited about it, but I came to you because I didn't want to jump in it with 2 feet real quick, but I just wanted to see, what you like most about it. I don't want to know what you think. I want to know what you like. And let me know what you like most about it. I'm gonna send this video to you today. However, hey Eric, would you be able to look at that for me? I appreciate it if you could. Say yes.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So Eric, when's a good time that I can contact you back about the video so I can add it to my calendar? And you've said nothing. You ain't talking about no matrix. You ain't talking about no 70%. All you did was prospect and send information. Now, if they say yes through the process, now you have someone that you were scared to talk to, and all you did was ask for help. Jim Rohn, my favorite motivational speaker of all time, said, "Don't be afraid to ask for help." Don't be afraid to ask for that. So some of you are walking past people and not saying anything to anybody because you're afraid. You think they're going to say no. We are not responsible for their response. Our responsibility, our obligation is to share the information. It's up to them to decide if they want to partner with us or not. Back to you, sir.
I love it. And listen, I like that approach right there with the people that you don't really want to talk to. Let me give you one of the ones that I use. Because Mr. Lillard, that was direct for them. I use a different way to mess with those upper echelon people that probably would look down on such an opportunity like this, like as if it's beneath them. One thing we don't know, some people are just broke on a higher level, so that judge that you think won't do this business, because he got too much money, but he broke on a higher level. But when I reach out to those folks, I say this. I say, listen, matter of fact, I had an uncle, I hit this with, listen, I just got started in this opportunity. It's amazing, best thing since sliced bread. I know you won't be interested in this at all. I already know, right? We just cut it, we just leave it there. I know you're not going to be interested in this. However, like you said, I respect your opinion. I know you know people, right, that would probably be interested. So I need you to take a look at this video so you can decide who it would best fit of the people that you know, right? Because like you said, that uncle, his son might be Ray Ray that he has influence over and he can put in the business, right? So I'm telling him, look, hey, I know it ain't for you, but who do you know? Because he might say, man, you know what, my wife been sitting around here, she ain't been doing nothing because he's making all the money. She needs something to do, right? Boom. Now he didn't put the wife in and the wife get the, who knows? Or watch this. This has happened too. Say the same thing, man. I know it's not for you. I just need to know who you'd like to, who it might be for. So take a look at it so we be on the same page. And then after they take a look at it, I'm like, listen, so I know it wasn't for you, but who do you know? Like, shoot, I'm gonna do this. Before I give you any referrals, they're gonna come through me, right? And we've had that happen. So at the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed. You're gonna have to open your mouth. Someone said that GoPro strategy is effective.
That's for sure.
Effective. It works if you work it. At the end of the day, it certainly works if you work it. Any other questions? Somebody said checkmate. Yeah. This is a game of chess, not checkers. I promise you.
Hey, you all throw some objections in there so we can overcome some objections. We got a few more minutes.
It absolutely does work in the code market.
Absolutely. And see, that's another thing about cold market. Listen, when you have a vision for your business and you are hungry, right? And you're consistent, you're persistent, right? And you're writing your goals down and you got goals. I mean, all that everything I just said will push you towards whatever goals you have set up. Mr. Scott, he didn't become a 4-star director without a goal set, without being consistent or persistent. Eric didn't become a 2-star without having a goal set. And I remember the very first meeting that we went to, we said we taking over the meeting. We taking it over.
You said that.
Well, I said yeah. Anyway, but at the end of the day, though, okay, Preston says I have to wait until the first of the month to get started. What you got for that, Eric? That's objection.
You got to wait. Now, interestingly enough, depending on the person that said it, I guess I'm prejudging. Depending on how that conversation went, right now, when a person says that usually means they don't have enough money, right? Now, if they've just told me that they ain't got no money, they got to wait till the first. Then, okay, cool. I'm putting you on the calendar, right? And then let's get to that. But if it doesn't mean that they don't have the money, what that means is at this moment, you have not provided enough value to that person. They are not comfortable enough with the information that has been provided through this presentation thus far. So almost any objection is really getting. So we would ask some questions. I'm usually going to be straight up. So that usually means we need some time to get our opinions together. Is that correct, sir? And they'll be like, yeah, man, I got to get the money, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And if it's a legitimate, I need to get some money, then I'm putting you on the calendar, right? There was a time where I would have went through a psychological sales process, ladies and gentlemen, to kind of coerce that person into getting started a little bit sooner. But like Mr. Lillard said, if you got enough people coming through your pipeline, if a person tell me, and I need it next week, okay, remember, we professional sorters. That means when I flip this card over, you ain't an ace yet. I'm putting you, okay, next week? Okay, fine. I'm looking for the ace right now.
Cheryl has a good one. Preston loaded us up. Man, we ain't got time for that, Preston. Cheryl got a good. So Cheryl says that business. No, hold up. No. Where's it at?
I got too much on my plate.
I got too much. That's my favorite one all time. When someone tells me I have too much on my plate, this is how you lock them up. in the corner, and then they'll have to tell you that I just don't want to do it, or they'll be like, okay, I want some more information. So if someone says, I got a lot on my plate right now, I'm so busy. When I hear that, my next response is, you know what, Eric, man, I respect that, man. Actually, you're just the person I'm looking for. I hit him with that, and they be like, you should see their face. They're like, huh? So I say, yes. I said, people who are busy, right? They know how to get things done. People who are not busy ain't busy for a reason. I ain't looking for them. I'm looking for the busy person in mind. As a matter of fact, we have a system in place for the busy person in mind. And so, Eric, maybe you're busy because you have 2 jobs. I want to show you how you can earn some income from home, right? While you're working the 2 jobs to provide you some financial leverage. So, go ahead, Eric.
Now, I'm just going to say, as we continue with answering these, giving you guys these rebuttals, one thing that's important to remember with these rebuttals, that all of these rebuttals are not for you. Make sure look at the camera. They're not for you to say if you're the one doing the 3-way. Did that rhyme? It's not for you to say if you're the one doing the 3-way. These rebuttals are for the experts.
That's now, good. That's
a nugget. At the moment doing the 3-way for one of your team members, then at that moment you should know some of these things. But we're not giving you these rebuttals so that you can feel like you're equipped, and then now you're eliminating doing a 3-way call. This is how you learn the business, because what's going to happen is, this is why we want you to do 3-way calls, right? Because you're going to put 1 million people on the phone with us who are going to say all of this stuff, and then you hear our response, and now you know what the rebuttals are to those objections, not so that you can use them on the street after you shared the video with the person and they said, I got too much on my plate already. And then you go in, now I'm going to go into rebuttal mode. Nah, see that they should have told, if a person tells you that, you should be on the phone. They should have told Mr. Lillard that. I should have had the mute button. Like that Bama just say, you got too much on this plate. Now I'm going to wait to hear what Mr. Lillard has to say. I say something like, when they tell me they got too much on my plate, well, listen, I used to go to all you can eat junk and had too much on my plate. I got another plate.
Well, I do want to, hey, Eric, I do want to say though, but sometimes you can't get to that 3-way call, because if you share the opportunity with them, it's, well, I'm not looking for no opportunity right now because I got a lot on my plate. So you can't get the 3-way. That's why I say that might be a time that you use that so that you can get in the door. You know what I'm saying? That stops you. That helps you get in the door. But you are right though. Majority of the time that needs to be done on a 3-way call. But absolutely.
Here's what it ultimately boils down to. All of these objections are saying that throughout the prospecting process, you have not identified my hot buttons. Because if I tell you I got too much time, or I ain't got enough time, I got too much on my plate, blah,
you
blah,
probably
blah,
said too much, right?
No, even if they haven't said too much, you haven't asked me the right question. You don't know what the radio station to turn into. What's in it for me? What is it? How do you say it? WW. I don't feel like doing it. WIF. What's in it for me? Right?
With them.
Yeah, you have not clearly presented really what's in it for me. You sharing to me all of the, you give me all of the benefits and features of the business. That's great. But you need to know what's going to make me want to reprioritize all the things I got going on. When I first got in this industry, I had 1 million things going on. I had a traditional business. I was still the Ray type dude. I was a bunch of stuff going on in my life when this was introduced to me. But when it was introduced to me and they shared with me what would really be in it for me, I was like, oh.
Somebody said, get another plate. And you know what though? But that's what people do when they go to a smorgasbord. Everything they want on that first plate go on that first plate. Then the second plate is then with the other stuff they want to try.
Because they know they right. With the smorgasbord has already answered their question. They know what's in it for me. I'm gonna put enough. I'm gonna present enough of this right here for. First of all, I got you in there. I knew you was hungry, right? So watch this. how if you haven't identified whether or not the person is hungry enough, I don't need to be in your smorgasbord if I'm not hungry. Everything ain't for everybody.
Okay. Brenda said, have not shared how this can meet a need.
Absolutely.
And she shared that. So I guess she's asking, how does this meet a need?
Prospecting part. That prospecting is when you get into the form, right? So a person, watch this, the person that tells me that they got too much on their plate or they're too busy at this point, and do I know how many kids this person has, right? Do I know what the goals are for that person yet? Have I gone through that? Because now I got a different way to position this opportunity. Listen, this ain't about you, this is about your kids, right? Do you have any residual income in your portfolio?
Bam, that's what I was looking for.
Do you have any residual income in your portfolio? Well, what the heck is residual income? See, now I need to now help you understand what's really in it for you. But if you haven't asked enough questions to peel back them onion layers to find out what's in it for a person throughout this prospecting piece, you can get hit with all the rebuttals in the world. Now, that's on the flip side. When you do proper marketing, you don't have to worry about none of this because your marketing piqued their interest. It did what it was supposed to do. And by the time they call you, they won a business. I didn't know how much it's going to cost. I'm looking for what you have to offer.
Here's an advantage. I'm going to share with Brenda, advantage that this is why I love what we do. We have an advantage over most businesses because it's a two-pronged business. Two things that we do. We sell travel and we sell agencies, right? So on the travel side, guess what? Everyone needs that. So we don't have our product is for the need is fulfilled. All you gotta do is get there. That's why it's a double-edged sword. And I'm telling you all, being able to do both, like you have options to share with people. So it's actually after 9, my friend. I don't know if you want to keep going. You want to?
We don't want to not answer nobody's question.
Whose questions we got? Listen to hear what the goals and needs are during the prospect. Absolutely, Brenda. What else we got here? Mr. Scott got with him. What else we got? Doing too much talking. The shows are doing too much talking. Move yourself out the way and listen and learn. Absolutely, LaCheryl. Preston got a bunch of them up here. We got to get those other ones another time. Preston got a ton. They're good ones, though.
Well, like which one?
Oh, he says, I have to talk to my wife first.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
Which one?
He says, I have to talk to my wife first.
Oh, my goodness. Go ahead. Let me see how you address that.
So when someone says, I have to talk to my wife first, now, for me, sometimes it's called a soft no. They don't want to tell you no, but it's a soft no. So what we have access to now, well, Eric, here's what I recommend, my friend. I know that you and your wife decided, to work together. You make decisions together. Here's what I highly recommend, Eric. This Wednesday night, we have a major. Everything is major, y'all. Every event is major. I don't care if we got a major tweet. It's a major tweet. Everything's major. Eric, we have a major Zoom event on Wednesday at 8:30. I highly recommend having you and your wife sit on it and take a look at it. And so I just want to know, would you two be able to attend that? Now, if Eric says I got to speak with her first, now I go right back to, okay, when's a good time to contact you back about speaking to your wife so I can add that to my calendar so I can contact you about ABC means always be closing. I need to get something on my calendar so I can contact you back. Because what you don't want and what a lot of people do, yeah, we show the video and we sit and wait for the person to contact us back, and we don't hear from them for a whole year. And matter of fact, sometimes they go sign with somebody else because you ain't follow up. Don't get me started. We be on here. It's after 9, man. We just check some questions.
It's after 9. Look, we've been having a good time asking all these daggone questions. You know what I'm saying?
Having a good time after 9.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, each and every first and third Wednesday, with the music.
Prospector. Hey, if y'all want us to come back again and answer questions, do a Q&A on prospecting next, well, in 2 weeks, let us know in the comments, and we can continue this because we want y'all to get this.
Well, listen, I forgot to announce that we are now. That's your turn. We are now live on Facebook and YouTube. So we're in the Facebook group, and we are in the What's the Word Wednesday YouTube page live as well. Because we know a lot of your team members, they don't either pay attention to the Facebook group, or some folks on the team are not even on Facebook, and they miss some of these nice nuggets. So now, moving forward, we was live tonight. Every first and third Wednesday, we will be live on Facebook and inside of YouTube, and we'll make that YouTube page channel available. You probably can look it up. It's What's the Word Wednesday on YouTube. So we're live there, and we're live inside of the Platinum Network group. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do some big and great things for all of you guys. We're going to continue giving you what we think you need. And
we're going to see if we can get a special guest on here next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't tell y'all who it is, but you got to be here to see it.
Got to be here to see it. So we appreciate you guys that have been with us this whole time live. And for those of you all who are going to be watching the replay, we appreciate you as well. We know we come on at a weird time, and it is what it is, right? That's the reason why it's recorded, so that you can take a look at it. Again, we appreciate you. Give us some love. Share this with your friends and your team members, so on and so forth. We will see you guys.
Deuces, What's the Word Wednesday? Hey.
Hey, ready? We're not ready.
Let's get out here and prospect, y'all.
There's a YouTube page right there. We still put it together.
Dang.
You can find us live as well. What's the Word Wednesdays on YouTube. We're gonna finish fixing it up. But you see right there, it says live in that little box. So we are still live.
Good night, everybody.